Este video es para ti. ¿Tú qué estás pensando? ¿Inglés? Yo en realidad lo puedo hacer en 3 meses. Yo lo único que necesito es un certificado y ya. Ay, es que es tan caro, por eso no he empezado. Ay, es que es tan difícil y por eso no he empezado. Cualquier razón que tú tengas para no aprender inglés no es válida. Bueno, en primera medida, ¿qué es el inglés? El inglés para mí, para que me entiendas, es como las Infinity Stones para Thanos, o como la varita de Sauco para Harry Potter, o como el traje de Iron Man para Tony Stark. En realidad es una herramienta, y es una herramienta que potencia tus capacidades y por lo tanto te brinda una infinidad de oportunidades. Y en este video te voy a quitar los 5 mitos de la realidad acerca del inglés. Vamos a verlos para que veas que no es tan difícil. Este video lo voy a hacer en inglés. Alright. If this is one of your first videos, please do subscribe. I don't tend to do videos in English, but guess what? This one is in English because I want to prove that English ain't that different and that difficult, right? So let's do it. And I know maybe you're there thinking, I actually speak better English than him. Good, because that means that you're already there in the spot. Look, with this English, I work for companies in UK, United States, Australia, New Zealand, and is done the job, right? So if you think that you're better than me, good, because that means that you are wasting your time. I'm sorry, but that's as straightforward as it can be. If you're already following on this video, then that means that you are on the money. Why haven't you made the move? Why haven't you crossed over? Now, let me tackle a little bit of the why is a tool and what does it mean. And for that, I'm going to be very practical. I'm just going to talk about money because money is easy to understand and it typically tends to draw a lot of attention, right? So let's go and look at it. Okay, here I am in a website from Colombia. And I'm looking at the salary of a civil engineer, right? And what this thing is saying is that on the maximum, a civil engineer is bagging around 5,100,000 Colombian pesos, right? So that we get a little bit of an idea as to what that means in US dollars so that we can compare. So that in US dollars is around 1,258 US dollars, right? So that's the amount that a civil engineer on the highest average is making a month. Now, if we go into the US money report and we checked on how much a civil engineer makes a year, we can see that they are also highest. I'm going to pick up the one on the middle, and that is 88,570 US dollars, right? So if you take that thing and you divide it into 12 months, because this is a yearly salary, civil engineer is making around 7,300 US dollars a month, right? So if we go back to this thing and we type that he's actually making 7,300 a month, that means that this civil engineer in Colombia would be bagging around 29 million Colombian pesos. 29 million Colombian pesos. I just want to repeat that. 29 million Colombian pesos. That's a lot of money, right? In Colombia, that's a lot of money. So he's bagging that, right? If we go to other country like Argentina and we go to another job, such as the software developer, if a software developer in Argentina is making around 150,000 Argentinian pesos a month, and again, that could be higher or could be lower. I'm just going to pick it up because it's a reliable source. But let's go into our money exchange tool and we're just going to type Argentine peso and we're going to type in that value that we just typed in, 150,000. That means that this software engineer in Argentina is bagging around 1,200, similar to the civil engineer, right? Not that far away. If we go back to the same source in software developer, they are showing us that the software developer is making around $110,000 a year, right? If you divide that, well, it's straightforward. It's going to give you around 9,000 US dollars a month. Let's go back in here and let's type in that value right there, 9,000 62,000. That means that in Argentinian pesos, you will be making around 1,062,000 Argentinian pesos a month, right? So English makes the difference. But I know what you're thinking. Oh, but I have to travel there. Right? It's all the traveling to the other market and the visas and all that is very complicated. It is. Believe me, I've been through it. It is. But today, the digital era, and thanks to COVID and this bloody pandemic, what we found is that we can work from overseas remotely. I've done a video about it. And for instance, this agency called Crossover has heaps of work for different areas in the IT industry mainly. So here I'm picking up one of the jobs that they have. It's called Software Engineer 3 for the company called Trilogy. And again, it's remote. And the base salary is 70 grand a year. If you have a little bit of English and you go through the responsibilities and the requirements here, you might notice that you, as a software developer today in Argentina, in Colombia, in Mexico, wherever, you already have this knowledge. And the only thing that you might not have is English. So if you start working on your English as soon as possible, then you will access $60,000 base salary a year very, very quickly, because the opportunities and the offers are already there, right? You can see them. They are touchable. Now, one of the myths of learning English is that you can make it in a short period of time. 3 months, 6 months. Let me cut you some slack. Ain't gonna be like that. If you haven't started your journey on English, it will take years, literally years. It could take up to 2, 3, 4, 5 years to get your feet on the ground, to be able to have a conversation and to be able to explain your needs and explain what is your value to a company in an interview. So you will need time. It's not a thing that you can just plug in and in 3 months or 6 months is gonna be done. It's definitely not like that. But guess what? Even though you're older or young, the reality is that you can learn English at any point in time. And I've met people that at late 30s or late 40s, they began their English journey and they managed to learn everything, right? Everything they need, right? And I guess that's part of the reality. You need to learn, but you need to learn only what you need. The second myth is around English being expensive to learn. It is not. Most of the Latin American countries, they have targeted free programs that will push you through English pathways and learning English completely for free, right? And also you have 1,000 options on the internet that you can leverage and use to learn English. Even having a Netflix account in which you can pick, I don't know, a series such as Suits, and you just watched it in English with some Spanish subtitles, then that is enough for you to start learning English. English is everywhere, so you have access to it. Just embrace it and do it consciously. Use things like Duolingo or any of those tools that are free. But if you do have money and you want to put money on this, make sure that you pick the right kind of course for you, for your personality. There is people that learns better when they are speaking. There's people that learns better when they are writing. Reading and writing, they're really good skills. Believe me, you're gonna need them. But guess what? When you are in an interview, no one is gonna say, hey, wrote me a letter about why do you want to be with us. You know, they're gonna ask you questions like why we should hire you, what your strengths, what are your weaknesses, how do you look yourself in 5 years time, etc. Those kind of questions, the only way of answering them is by talking. So you do need to create an army of expressions that create that possibility for you to explain your value, right? And you can get them even in a series like Suits. You can get the expression, just get them from there, copy them, make sure that you know what they mean, and just playing them back at the point in time you need them. That worked for me, and I bet it can work for you. So do it. Don't be afraid. Myth number 3 is about the certificate, right? Like I've seen people over and over saying, and is that going to give me a certificate? And is that going to give me a diploma? And is that going to give me a piece of paper that is going to prove that I speak English? No one, believe me, no one is going to ask you, can I have the certificate to check that you speak English? No, that's not what is going to happen. Wrong. What's going to happen is they're going to talk to you and you're going to have to respond and they will pick up whether you know or not. So the reality is that what you do need is to talk, not the certificate. The certificate doesn't do the deal. Now, for immigration purposes, there is a bit of a different thing. The certificate doesn't work, but what it works is things like IELTS or TOEFL or those kind of exams which they prove your level of English. 4th myth is that you learn everything and you basically become native. I'll tell you something. I've met people 20 years living overseas, speaking in English every day, and they still don't understand 100% of what is going on in a conversation. And that's the reality. The reality is that you will never, being from a different country, learning a language, never would understand everything that they said, because there are constructions, there are slangs, there are things that people say that you just don't understand. And that's fine. You don't need to understand it all. You just need to pick up on the context and work out with your brain what the heck was the other person say. I don't need to understand everything because I can't. I just can't. And I don't need to prove that I can understand. I just need to be mindful with my limits. And if I am getting better, then acknowledge that I'm getting better. And if I'm struggling, then put a little bit more effort in the areas that I'm struggling. The 5th myth is about you speaking like you were, I don't know, William Shakespeare or something like that. People know that you are from other place. They can pick it up from your accent. They can pick it up from your accent. Even within people that speak English, they can pick up from their accents that they are from Ireland, or they are from UK, or they are from South Carolina, or they are from anywhere in the whole wide world that speak English. They can pick it up. They can pick it up and they will respect you because you are trying. You're doing your job and you're doing your work to be able to speak in someone else's language. So they won't iron you because you cannot manage all languages, and they will forgive you around all the mistakes you make. And I've made terrible mistakes speaking in English all the time, and I will never stop doing them, but they forgive me because they know that English is not my first language, but they respect me at the same time because they know that if they talk to me, I'm able to understand what they've said. And sometimes when I'm looking at them and they said, did you understand what I said? I said, I did understood, but I just don't know if that is what you meant, or I just don't know if that is what we should do, right? They start respecting you. The reality is that you will unleash better English as you go, right? But you need to start, because if you don't start, then you will never unleash it. Right? So this is the time, and this is the time to learn English, because it's going to open up a heap of opportunities for you. My thing is, you people from Latin America, and how do I bring you into my world and into the opportunities that I've been able to see? So that's my job. I want you to make it, and I want you to be around. So I hope to see you very soon, and I hope you like this video. So see you on the next one, and bye now. Learn English.